US President Donald Trump issued a sharply worded and highly pointed message to Israel over its recent actions in Syria, signaling a rare public rebuke of a close ally and raising the political stakes in the region. On December 1st, Trump directly warned Israel against destabilising Syria and its new leadership, making it clear that Washington expects Israel to act with restraint and avoid undermining Syria's fragile transition. Notably, Trump's warning came at a moment of rapidly rising tensions between Israel and Syria, with both countries edging closer to a dangerous confrontation that could upend recent diplomatic gains in the Middle East. Just days earlier, on November 28th, the Israeli military reportedly killed at least 13 people in southern Syria in what has been described as a highly targeted counter-terrorism operation, drawing sharp criticism from Damascus and concern among regional powers. Despite Israel's ongoing hostilities and repeated military actions towards Damascus, Trump went out of his way to heap praise on Syria's new leadership, emphasizing what he sees as positive changes underway in the country's governance and stability. Trump has publicly praised President al-Sharaa's leadership, portraying him as a key figure in Syria's political and economic turnaround and a potential partner in a broader regional peace framework. Taking to Truth Social, Trump wrote, and I quote, "The United States is very satisfied with the results displayed, through hard work and determination, in the country of Syria. We are doing everything within our power to make sure the government of Syria continues to do what was intended, which is substantial, in order to build a true and prosperous country. One of the things that has helped them greatly was my termination of very strong and biting sanctions. I believe this was truly appreciated by Syria, its leadership, and its people. It is very important that Israel maintain a strong and true dialogue with Syria, and that nothing takes place that will interfere with Syria's evolution into a prosperous state. The new president of Syria, al-Sharaa, is working diligently to make sure good things happen, and that both Syria and Israel will have a long and prosperous relationship together. This is a historic opportunity, and adds to the success, already attained, for peace in the Middle East." End quote. Subsequently, Trump held a phone call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss the situation in Gaza, underscoring that Israel's actions there remain a top priority even as Syria rises on the strategic agenda. According to an Israeli readout, the two leaders discussed disarming Hamas and demilitarizing Gaza, suggesting that Washington and Israel are coordinating closely on long-term security arrangements for the enclave. Trump also invited Netanyahu to visit the White House yet again, marking what would be the Prime Minister's fifth visit in a single year and highlighting the close and continuous dialogue between the two leaders. However, the Israeli readout notably did not specify whether Trump and Netanyahu discussed Syria in detail, raising questions about how forcefully Trump pressed his warning behind closed doors. It is important to note Trump recently hosted Syrian President al-Sharaa at the White House, a landmark visit that signaled a dramatic reset in the US-Syria relations after years of isolation and sanctions. During that visit, the two leaders discussed the prospect of fully lifting remaining US sanctions on Syria and explored major investment opportunities intended to kickstart reconstruction and integrate Syria back into the regional economy. Syria is expected to be a key talking point during Netanyahu's upcoming visit to the United States, with Israeli media outlet Channel 12 reporting that Washington plans to push hard on this file. Trump has been actively pushing for an Israel or Syria security pact that would formalize border arrangements and reduce the risk of war, but so far his efforts have not yielded a binding agreement or concrete roadmap. Syrian President al-Sharaa has reportedly rejected Trump's push to rapidly normalize Syria-Israel relations, insisting that core territorial and security issues must be addressed first before any formal reconciliation. Al-Sharaa has cautioned that there is still a good distance to go before Syria can realistically reach a comprehensive agreement with Israel, highlighting deep mistrust and unresolved disputes that continue to complicate negotiations. Speaking about the conditions for peace, al-Sharaa has said that to reach an agreement, Israel should withdraw to their pre-December 8 borders, making full withdrawal from recently occupied Syrian territory a non-negotiable demand. Israel invaded parts of southern Syria following the fall of Bashar al-Assad in 2024, expanding its military footprint across the border and altering long-standing security understandings in the area. Since the new leadership took over in Damascus, Israel has also conducted multiple air and ground strikes on Syrian territory, arguing that these operations are necessary to protect its security interests. Israel has claimed that many of these strikes targeted weapons depots and infrastructure belonging to remnants of Assad's army and allied groups, but it has also hit regions in and around Damascus, fueling Syrian accusations of aggression. More recently, Israel has alleged that Syrian territory is being used as a corridor to transfer arms from Iran to Hezbollah in Lebanon, framing its operations as part of a broader campaign to disrupt Tehran's regional influence. However, Tensions spiked dramatically on November 28 after Israel conducted what it described as an arrest operation in southern Syria, an incident that quickly escalated into a deadly attack. At least 13 people were killed in southern Syria during that operation, while 6 IDF soldiers were also reported injured by gunmen, underscoring the high human cost and volatility on both sides. The Israeli army claimed it had received credible intelligence about a terror group planning imminent attacks on Israel, prompting it to move quickly to neutralize what it saw as a serious threat. According to the IDF, its forces set out to arrest key members of this alleged group, but the mission rapidly escalated into a firefight that resulted in the deadly outcome and further inflamed regional tensions. Damascus, for its part, condemned the operation as a war crime, accusing Israel of igniting the region and deliberately pushing the Middle East closer to a broader conflict that could undo recent diplomatic progress.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.